shot.
Is anybody watching already?
There are a few in the chat.
Well, then, that's good because we're live. Ladles and Jelly Spoons. Hi, this is Tim Downfield with MSC Tenerife and it's Balcony Banter. Right, Ladles and Jelly Spoons. We've got 3 people on. I think this is it. So I'm going to point this way. That's right. That's looking at them. You're pointing that way to them. Okay. Exactly. And you're pointing outwards to us. Okay. So if you want to talk to Cleo, talk left. And I'll talk to me. Look right. That's good.
Yeah.
Cool dudes. Well, so what we got? We got the wired microphone. It looks pretty good. No scratches up, hopefully, at the moment. Take a sip of my blackcurrant juice. I hate blackcurrant juice. Right, we got no batteries tonight in the phones, so Cleo might disappear at one point. But don't worry, don't worry.
It's one of my little tricks.
One of the little tricks. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, go to timothydow.com, read all about us, or just press the subscribe button. You can press the subscribe button anytime you like for free. And you can subscribe to us. Thank you so much. So welcome, everybody. Let's see who's in the chat. If you're new to the channel, we have a discussion at this point. So I'm usually a bit manic at the beginning, getting everything ready. But I usually calm down and show you the beautiful sunset. There you go. And tonight's topic is consumerism. Is it really good for the soul? Is it really?
Was it ever?
Is it really good for the soul? Because I bought a new drone. And Cleo's here, and she's going to talk a little bit about the fiestas of Adeje.
Yep.
Plus the...
and how to consume them.
How to consume them. Plus it's National Day today. It's the Dia de las Hispanidad. Hispanidad. So no dad jokes. Oh, I've got a message here from Cleo. She's at the door. That was clever.
Get the door, Tim.
Shut that door. Shut that door. And I still can't find out. Am I on? Are we on? Can you hear me, Mother? Why doesn't it just show me that I'm on? Tim, you're on. Why don't I get the buzzing? Maybe because I'm not subscribed to my own channel, eh?
Oof. You should do that.
Be a good idea.
You can't. I don't think you can subscribe to your own channel.
I don't know if I have. I think I did.
On the night before his wedding.
Oh, I've got to watch the adverts. Oh, no. I'll have to retire.
There you go. Did you skip it?
So, yes. So I'm just going to check to see if the sound's okay. Why don't I get the buzzing?
There you go.
There you go. There we go. Ladles and Jelly Spoons. We got Jeff on. We got Tim Dowd, whoever he is. See you all soon. Can we all hit the thumbs up? Maria Alti's on. Tim and the gang. It's Craig's on. Thumbs up if you forgot it's free. Dan, Maria Alti, it's Craig and Marie's on. Derek Walker came in, Paula's in. Christian Bertrand Servus from Erding. It's Craig. Michelle T, hi everyone. Barry Oliver. Kathleen Graham, wish we were still in Tenerife. It's freezing in Scotland. Aww. This was Kathleen that I met the other day down by, well, it was 8 Pier was the bar actually. Nice to meet you girls. Joanne Thwaites is on. Good pint of beer, that. Evening from North Wales. From North Wales. I used to live in Pwllheli, you know. It's like, that's how I learnt to say no and yes in the same sentence in Wales. Because if you don't believe it, you go, no, yes.
That's a bit Irish.
And then if you do believe it, you go, yes, no.
No, you're serious, really? That's very Irish.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
No, you're kidding, really?
Jenny from the Zone, Maria Albanaz, Buenas tardes, amigos. Paula Williams, Maria Alti, Tony Smith's on, Mark Jones. Hello, all of you. Love the show. The sunset is cloudy and freezing in Castleford. So jealous. You're live, Tim says it's Craig. Oh, when are you going to Tenerife, Marie? Good evening from North Wales again, Joanne. I saw you the first time, don't worry. And
she's
February,
going, no,
Paula.
yes, you saw me the first time.
Nice time to go, nice time to go. Okay, so the discussion tonight, are we opening the room? Is Ian coming in?
No, I don't think so.
No, he comes in on yours. What have I done?
Oh,
Nothing.
have you offended Ian?
No, he's got time once a month, and it just so happens to be when
Time
you're on.
consumes him.
Oh, very apt.
So, ladles and jelly spoons. Cleo, you're looking beautiful today. You've probably been swimming or something.
I have been swimming. Well, it's kind of now become an obsession.
As it
I'm consumed by my need to swim.
consumerism, consuming the sea.
I do actually. I mean, it is now. If I don't have at least one swim a day, I get edgy and itchy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like cigarettes, I suppose, isn't it? If you don't smoke.
I think it's probably better. The swimming's probably better than the
Better
cigarettes.
for you, yeah.
Yeah, just a
better
bit.
for you.
just
But the
a
thing
bit.
is, swimming can kill you pretty quick.
If you forget to breathe.
You forget to breathe, you go down. Bottom
Yeah,
there.
I generally remember.
I was out in the sea today and yesterday at the same time. Way out I was. Well, I was above the sea. I was flying my new drone. So I went to Costa Adeje, the other Costa Adeje.
The other
Yeah, because everybody talks like Costa Adeje finishes it like a letter, right?
Well, not anymore, but yeah, I think we're Costa Adeje.
We're
as
the
well.
Costa Adeje, yeah. So the other Costa Adeje is basically El Putito, Playa Paraíso, Playa Cayo Salvaje, Marasul, and no, is Playa San Juan in Adeje?
No.
No, that's
No.
Gia-
It's in a different. It's in.
Is it Gia de Azora or Gia?
Guia de Sora.
Guia de Azora, guide, Azora's guide.
Yeah, Guia
Yeah?
de Sora.
Guia de Azora.
And
Guia
that
de
is
Sora.
Playa San Juan, which then moves on into Santiago del Teide.
No, there's Alcalá before that.
But Alcalá isn't a municipio. I think is Alcalá not part of
Guia
Santiago
del Sora,
Guia de
no?
Sora, and then you have Santiago del Teide.
Oh, Santiago del Teide, the
Municipal.
municipality.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was thinking Santiago del Teide was the village.
No.
Oh, that's
the
Puerto
municipio.
Santiago.
Yeah, it
I'm
is
thinking
indeed.
of, which is La
Oh, we're having
Rina.
a little geography chat.
Exactly. So Alcalá goes into La Rina. La Rina goes
La
into
Rina.
Puerto Santiago. Puerto Santiago goes into the
Los
island, the
Gigantes?
Frag
Los
Island. Is it?
Gigantes.
What's the Cangrejo? Is it? What's the Isla Cangrejo or something like that?
Before Los Gigantes.
Yeah. Or is that just a? That's not really an island,
That's
is
just
it?
something made up.
Something made. I made it up. There you go. Like the Tipsy Terrace, right? Come out the Tipsy Terrace.
It might be a little Cala.
Yeah.
Yes, it could be. It could
Yeah.
be.
Right.
And that's the southwest of Tenerife.
And that's
for
the
you.
southwest of Tenerife. Yeah. And we can't say Palmar without doing it in a Northern Irish accent.
Really?
Yeah, because Joe, who was one of the barmen at the Sheraton La Caleta, when we said we're moving over, he says, "Oh, you got to look. The nice place is open in Palmar."
Palmar. Down in Palmar.
Down in Palmar.
Aye, okay. No, I didn't know that.
So I can't say Palmar without saying
That's
it,
Palmar.
because that's how I learnt it. Palmar. Go to Palmar tomorrow.
Aye, might be good there now.
You won't be having any Palmar, will you?
No.
No Palmar.
What chips?
Lifetime
We're
Slimness
chaps.
says, your drone consumerism, we forgive you, Tim.
Oh, thank you. That's because that's because they're such great pictures. I'm going to show you something I did with the drone just before. You can't see it, but I'll show you afterwards. It's basically the new vlog that's coming out. I'm always saying I've got something new coming out, and it never happens. But this time I've started it. It's the cost of living in Tenerife, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we like the pictures you put on Instagram of what you eat," but how much does all that cost?
Okay.
And actually, it's fairly cheap.
Cost of living is such a hot topic right now.
It is, and not only that, but the price has gone up. So if I photograph the prices next year when I do the same ones again, we'll
Yeah.
find out exactly how much they've all gone up.
TimDadShoppingBasket.com.
Tim Dowd's shopping basket. That's it. That's
There
it.
you go.
So I'm just going to show you this. This is the intro to the vlog. So I haven't done a vlog yet, but this is the intro which I've done. There's no sound in it because the music is going to go with the vlog, and this will just be dropped in here. So I'll show you this. Cost of living in Tenerife. So I went out and droned Mercadona, Aldi, Two Trebol, and Lidl.
Lidl.
There you go. So we're back in the room. Oh, that was not good. Just a minute. I'm going to go for the old cross dissolve here. There you go. Yep. So Christina Lee,
Yeah,
what you been doing the last week, and why are you so sunny with your sunglasses on?
because the sun is shining straight in my face.
Oh, right.
I made a big mistake yesterday.
Well, you married me again.
I took your tablets.
You did.
Oh no! You're not going to turn into Tim, are you?
Well, she's got such a low blood pressure, right? She's like Mrs. Low blood pressure. Both values are under 100.
Okay.
Right? And then she takes a blood pressure tablet and a beat reduction tablet.
Oops.
So she was like floppy all day yesterday. We did call the doctor's office, and they said you got to call an ambulance. And I thought, how do you feel? She said, I'm all right. I said, are you insured? She said, yeah.
That's right.
So-
Have you made your will?
Have you made your will? Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually going to have to put the thing down because I
Yeah.
remember last time
I can't
it
believe
overheated.
It
It overheated.
yes.
Oh no!
And we got cut off.
Okay, be careful. Why are we oh knowing? You nearly.
This.
Oh no. Do you want a hand?
If you could.
Okay.
I can't get up.
That's life. Oops. The plants need to survive.
There we go.
What am I doing? Moving this
I'm
chair.
actually. Can we get that out of the way? Yeah. There we go. Thank you very big. Oh, you give me that hook while you stood up there,
Wait, Palmar.
Palmar.
What'd you say to me now?
Look there.
We're going to put
You
the thing down.
need the way ahead.
Yes, Captain.
Captain Ahab.
There you go.
So I'm just going to put this down. You talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Oh. Well, if we're speaking about cost of living and consumerism,
Yeah.
I always feel a little bit sorry for people who. Sometimes I go to the Iceland supermarkets, which are good for certain things. I have my little list of things I like from Iceland. But I do see people who possibly are British long-term residents, and I think maybe they get scared of going to the big supermarkets because they don't speak Spanish. Maybe I'm wrong, but I see them buying things that I know are half the price
In the supermarket.
in the chain supermarket chains like Mercadona and Lidl, and you think that's a shame now because you could be saving yourself a bit of money if you. Because most of these supermarkets do speak. There was a lovely fella in the little supermarket the other day, and there was an English woman in front of me asking him to ring for a taxi, which he did with the nicest grace in the world. Then he started talking to me. I was Irish, and then there were two Scottish women behind me, and he just had a field day because he'd lived in London for a year. So he had the best fun of all practicing his English, and I thought he's the right kind of person to have in a little supermarket in Costa Adeje.
Yeah.
That's good planning. That's
And we will have another one on the opposite
open
side.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It
Tomorrow the
opens.
13th. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So
Is it?
yeah. The one near the BP station, just
Yeah.
before you get to the Adeje roundabout. It
went
opens
fast.
tomorrow.
I saw that because it was not finished about 3 days ago, and then all of a sudden it finished.
Well, and
Wow.
they're sending out promo blogs saying we're open on the 13th of October with great new offers and loads of special deals.
Because Aldi opened on the 13th of October.
No, it opened not. Wasn't it open on the 24th of August or something?
Yeah.
All right,
And it said
okay.
the 24th.
Oh, no, the 13th of
Exactly.
October is tomorrow.
Exactly.
Oh, because then it is Lidl.
Yes.
I thought it was
And
Aldi.
Aldi's quite disappointing, but there you go.
I liked Aldi because they have the feta cheese that I like. Bigger, better, and cheaper than anywhere else.
The only thing I found that's good in Aldi so far is the cheese selection.
Yep.
It's good, but I mean, I've compared it to Aldi. Sorry, this is very consumerist chat, isn't it?
That's good.
I've
It
compared
is.
it to the Aldi in Ireland and the Aldis I've been to in the UK,
Yeah.
which have loads of different offers, really good fresh fruit and veg, things that are cheaper, their own brand shampoos and stuff. And the one here doesn't have any of that. I found it quite disappointing in that regard.
I went to have a look and I found my cheese, so I bought 2 packs of it. And I'm on my 4th pack now, so I've been there back then, got another 2. Because I like to put feta cheese in the phyllo pastry.
Yep,
You know,
yeah,
with,
yeah.
with spinach. For spinapitakia. Spinopitakia,
Spinopitakia, which is Greek.
which is Greek. Not to be mixed up with the tiropitakia, which is the feta cheese without the spinach.
Okay.
Spinopitakia and tiropitakia. Paracalo, Napoli Rosso, if you speak Spanish. Please, I'd like the bill.
If you speak Greek, you mean. That's not Spanish.
Did I say Spanish?
You did.
There you go. Consumerism boils your brain. Yeah, so they got that, and then on the checkout, they caught me with American chocolate chip cookies for 89 cents.
See?
So I bought 2 of them.
Sucker.
And I turned around, I said, I'm not looking at them anymore, and Crunchy.
On the other side.
Yeah, Captain Crunch was on the other side for $1. So
$1.
I don't know what it was.
It was whatever it was.
It was cheap, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got those. But the rest is pretty disappointing, to tell you the
Isn't
truth.
it?
The meat I don't trust. because when they were opening up, when I got there, all the meat was on the floor, ready to be put in the
Okay,
the
no,
cool, you know.
not good.
So
Fruit and veg. The bread section isn't very enticing.
I
Lidl's
didn't find
much
the
better.
bread section. I don't think
It's down at the back.
okay, I didn't go there.
Yeah, I mean, Lidl, what they did, obviously, we're talking very small Adeje chat here, but they remodeled just in time for the Aldi open, and their remodeled Lidl is much better now.
The remodeled Lidl, I like that because when you go in, it's sort of open with fruit and everything and
Yeah.
bread.
Yeah.
And then when you walk down, they've raised the freezers now.
They have.
So everything's at eye level.
Yeah, very
apart
clever,
From when I
very clever design.
apart from when I take Chris, and then everything's at arse level.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But the middle aisle isn't so much a middle aisle anymore because there's 3 middle aisles now with special offers.
Can we say that middle aisle? Did I say middle aisle? Did I?
No, diddly middly idly. Diddly idly middly aisle.
Is there a steak and kidney pie in the middle aisle?
I didn't check, Chuck.
What steak and kidney pie? Did I say diddly in the middle aisle?
Right.
We're fun today. We're having fun today. If you just joined us, you're watching Balcony Banter.
Well, I want to ask Juliana a question because everyone believes, and of course, just because you're German, I'm thinking, of course she'll know this.
Of course.
That Aldi and Lidl are brothers, that they're owned by brothers. This is everybody who's not German that I've ever spoken to thinks that they were both 2 brothers who opened up competitive supermarkets in Germany and just expanded into worldwide
Well,
chains.
the Aldi brothers, they were brothers.
But they've nothing to do with Lidl.
No.
No. I know they were not called Aldi, they were called Albrecht, I think. And there were 2 brothers, one of them I think passed away already.
Okay.
And it was divided into north and south. So which one do we have? The north one.
Yeah.
Because I wonder why there is. I mean, I've seen this in other places that when a Lidl opens, an Aldi opens across the road, and it's happened in a few different countries I've seen in.
Yeah.
And now they've done it here
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people think that the Lidl family and the Aldi family are related.
They actually could be the same group because I think there's only 6 groups in the whole world that run all the food.
This is true. Those
So-
Lever
so-
brothers own pretty much everything.
So they could be the same group, but I'm not sure. But the Aldi brothers, or the original Aldis, were Aldi North and Aldi South, or Nord and Sud, and they fell out apparently. And so when they split it, and it was a totally different.
They had a little tiff. The Aldi
it was
brothers.
a totally different store, you know. So we were in Aldi Sud, but I never actually shopped in Aldi because Aldi was like you'd go to it for one thing, you know,
Okay.
but you wouldn't like do your
wasn't
weekly
a
shop
general-
there.
general
wasn't,
shop.
It wasn't a general shop. A lot of people went and shopped there because it was dirt cheap,
Yeah.
and but as you say, the quality wasn't, you know, 100%.
Yeah, but I'd say even when sorry.
No, I was just going to say that it has improved over the years. I do remember that maybe 20 years ago, they had a reputation that was exactly what you were just describing. But then, obviously, with all the non-food products, those products were quite good and substantial. So that enticed a lot of people to consume at Aldi.
Yeah.
And I know, in fact, that a lot of people even bought their champagne, and not just because of the bad price or the low price. So.
Well, I find that the Aldi and Lidl are cheap in certain respects, but they sting you in others.
Yeah, you have to be careful. I mean,
Yeah.
and I still tend to, because I suppose I have Saturday mornings dedicated to shopping, but that's how I live my life. And I will buy certain things in Mercadona and other things in Lidl, and now I'll go to the Hiperdino as well.
Well, the
In El
Hiperdino over
Galeon.
there is
And
all
the-
right.
yeah.
So we got 2 Hipedinos in
The one
in
in
the
El
area.
Galeon's even better, I think.
The Galeon is cheaper. This one is cheap, and the one down the bottom is gouges you.
Yeah, no.
And the one down the bottom here, I actually had a bit of a barney with him the other day, because I went with my daughter, and I like this Gouda cheese from. It's called Good Gouda, I think it's called.
Okay.
And it's the best tasting Gouda cheese that you can buy in the pack, you know,
Yeah.
without going to the Netherlands and
The Gouda,
and gouging it, yeah.
the province of
Right,
Gouda.
and it was $3.65, and I bought 2 packets because there's a few of us, and we thought we'll have it a couple of days, like. Anyway, Stephanie paid because she's living here rent free. So she said, I'll do a bit of shopping. Okay. Anyway, she gets outside. She says, how much was the cheese? I said, it's $3.65 a pack. She says, they charged me $4.15. I said, are you sure? Yeah. So, but we'd already gone then. So we'd already got home. And so the next time I went down, I looked and it was $3.65. So I bought a packet just for fun. I went to the till and he went, boom, boom, $4.15. I said, just a minute, it says $3.65 on there. Oh, it's the wrong price, he says.
Under
So
the
what
law.
I'm thinking is, how many other wrong prices are there?
There are a lot.
Yeah?
But we know, yeah, because one of the things I think that some of these stores do is they work out whether you're a resident or not.
Or count on.
I don't think they can do that because they just beep it. So there's not a button to sort of say resident button and what have you
Unless
button.
they've, I don't know.
But I complained, and he said it's the wrong price, and I said, well, I want my money back, and they gave me money back.
But I know in Ireland under law, if something is priced publicly, you have to allow the customer buy it at that price.
Is that a law in Ireland?
Well, unless it's changed. I think it was a consumer law.
Because I thought that was a
Maybe
not
it's
an-
a recommendation. I don't
And
know.
no, I think it because I remember somebody says you've got to sell me at that price, right?
Yeah.
And somebody then came up and sort of says I don't have to serve you at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So you can't force them to sell you at the price. They should honour it.
They should.
But I don't think it's a law because a couple of things were like there was a car or something with $1 on it or something, and
Okay.
so
And I suppose people could sneakily, surreptitiously try and switch prices.
not
I
in
do
Two
know-
Treeball though, because in Two Treeball all the prices are electronic now.
Okay, so they're barcoded.
No, they're actually an LED screen
Oh,
that a guy goes toot, with a near field thing and goes toot, 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 and sets all the prices, so they don't have to take the tickets off anymore. They just change the ticket,
oh, all right.
and I think that's terrible because they could like put the price up just sat in their office, couldn't they?
Just by
Let's have
looking at you.
let's have a couple of we're busy. Let's stick up a couple of cents on everything. I think that's what they're doing. I mean, who gets all the money? Who gets all the money? Is I want to know.
I don't think
Consumers.
The farmers do. I mean, I do know there is a certain hardware store.
Mm-hmm.
We won't name names, where I've been to buy things and they're cheaper than advertised when they sell them to me, and I've just always assumed I'm getting a residence price.
Exactly.
Denise Pearson is asking. We agree with what you are all saying, but our issue is Cleo, Tim, and Julianne. Which supermarket do you find for good cut of beef?
Go to the
Would
butcher.
appreciate your advice.
Go to the butcher.
Yes,
Yeah.
I absolutely.
don't buy
agree.
your beef in the
I
supermarket.
mean, I don't buy meat very often, so which butcher? The one in Armanimi is very good.
The
Yes.
Arminimi butcher in
And the Two
is very
Treball.
good.
The
Two
Two
Treeball
Treball.
butcher's good, but that's
Okay.
in a supermarket. Yeah, but he
Yes.
is a butcher.
Yeah.
But the other one, which
Isn't the one in El Madroñal?
no, it's in
Pepino.
Hipadino as well.
Hipadino's got one, but there's one in Ex-Sur. What did it used to be called?
Grand Sur.
Grand Sur.
Is there?
It's called Ex-Sur now.
Yeah.
And it's the one from up in Madronal, is it?
Oh, okay.
They've
all right.
moved now.
Oh, and where are they? Are they on the
They're-
main floor?
Are
They're on
they
the main floor,
next
and
to
they're
the
a
restaurant?
cafe as well. They're a restaurant as well.
Oh, cool. I
Next to
didn't
the
know that.
restaurant,
Yeah.
right?
Shows how much
And
I
there's-
don't get out too often.
And there's one in Pasarelli Centre as well,
Okay.
in Los Cristianos that I know.
Yeah.
So go to a dedicated butcher's.
Yeah. I mean, the nearest one for us here in Cayo Savaje, which I've been to a few times, is the one in Armanimi, and I do like that.
And there's a German butcher up in Los Menores as well, Kai.
And there used to be one in Las Chafiras. I don't know if it's still there.
I've
And-
not seen
And
that one.
Guargacho as
And
well had one.
Denise lives in the north, right?
Yeah,
In Puerto
so
de la Cruz.
the-
So I would recommend the Mercado Municipal
Yeah.
in Puerto de la Cruz. They have a couple of nice fruterias, like fruit
Okay.
shop, fruit and veg, really fresh stuff there. And yeah, they have, I think, an Alteza supermarket in there and a very good butcher.
And
Very good
actually,
butcher.
if
Very
we're
good.
speaking of markets and we were speaking about cheese, the best cheese really would be the Montes de Oca cheese, which is sold in the Adeje Farmers Market every weekend.
Okay.
And if
that
you ever
won
want to go, they've won
Won a
World
prize.
Cheese Award. They've won our prize. They've won about 50. I mean, they've won gold and silver and bronze every year, and you can go up. I don't know. I must find out if they start their tours again, because they've got it's all goat cheese, and they have a farm here in Adeje up in the Midlands, and you can go and do a tour. Which is lovely. It's a small little setup, but everything's handmade, and you can go and see the cheese being made,
Cool.
the goats
Yeah.
being milked, and it's really worth doing. It's a lovely little
And
trip.
it's supporting the local.
The local industry, yeah. And Alberto, he speaks good English. He's been on the English Town program a couple of times.
Okay.
And he's great fun. And, you know, it's a family business. The mum's from Gran Canaria, actually. And the goats, you know, we're supporting local goats too.
Yeah.
So
If anybody doesn't know Cleo, she works in the council here in Adeje, and she also runs English Time, which is a radio show. When does that go out?
tomorrow, Thursdays,
That's
from 1 to 1:30.
From 1 to 1:30.
107.9 FM.
107. It's and a real radio show. I mean, she's a real journalist. In fact, you are a real journalist.
Yes, I
aren't
am
you?
a real journalist.
She's a real journalist. Not we're pretending to be journalists, but it's a real journalist.
I did exams.
Did you have to do how to pull the wool over the public's eye exam? Because that seems to be what most journalists are doing these days.
No, but I do remember. I mean, at the time, this will be an age-defining answer. I mean, we had to do shorthand and typing, which is I don't think any journalists do anymore because they just tape everything on their phones. But we had to do our exams on mechanical typewriters,
Uh-huh.
and you can imagine 20 people clacking on an exam to
Oh, I
answer
love that sound.
our
I
law
love that
questions
sound.
and stuff like that. Yeah, well, my first years as a freelance journalist were done on a portable typewriter.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know, there you go.
There you
That
go.
was back in the day, as
Yeah,
they
the
say.
radio was in black and white then.
It sure was, yeah.
Those were the
Monochrome.
days.
Them was the days. I was told I had a good face for radio.
They got a good face for radio, yeah. Our local butcher is a cut above the rest, says Lifetime Slims.
Oh.
Thank you. We saw the butchers on Municipal, so we will try it, says
Yeah,
Denise.
good.
Barry Oliver, Heapadino tried to charge me for a bag every time we went in, even though I made it clear that I bought it before and was reusing it.
Okay.
That's terrible.
That's cheeky.
That's cheeky, yeah.
Yeah, cheeky.
Jen saying I heard similar issues in Croatia with tourist residents prices and dining out. There are a couple of bars that do tourist and resident prices.
Yeah. I mean, they
But,
don't state it,
No.
but if once they recognise you, or I mean, it's like me. If I have to get a taxi on my own, I generally let the taxi driver know pretty quickly that I speak Spanish, I live here, and I'm watching the meter. So they're not trying to. I mean, again,
tell
I'm not
people
accusing anybody, but
I tell people to ask for a receipt for work.
yeah, and also ask the price before you get into the cab.
Yeah, but I mean, basically, I talked to David, who owns the Monte Cristo, right? And he used to be a taxi driver before he was a beer driver. And I said, what is the real rules of a taxi driver? And he said to me, if we did the real rules, no taxi driver will be able to survive. Because, you know, there's like a number there's a number 2 and a number 3.
Yeah.
Number 2 is when you stay within your own municipality
Okay.
and it's cheaper.
Right.
And number 3 is if you cross the border into another municipality and it's dearer.
Yeah.
The button is for the tax going into the airport
All right.
or extra baggage, I think they can charge for.
Okay. And the hour of the day. They can
And the
charge
hour
for.
of the day. But the hour of the day is automatic on the meter. You know when you get in which one you're on.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't see anybody getting a number 2. They're all on number 3, the taxis. So they're all pretending they're going into another municipality.
I mean, I think one of the reasons is possibly that they can't use a rank in another municipality.
No, they can't, because if you go to another municipality, you can't like wait there for a fare
No,
coming back.
no.
So you're paying both ways,
Exactly.
really.
So that's fair enough, you know.
I suppose it is fair enough, but some of the taxi drivers, I read a lot in the forums, and some of them times are saying the taxi drivers they're ripping us off, you know.
No, they're not.
And well, they probably are. They're trying it, you know. But the thing is don't forget they are dealing with drunken tourists all night, right?
Imagine.
They are dealing with people who scream at them in a foreign language all day.
Yeah.
So they're, you know, I'm not saying they should do anything, but basically think a bit from their point of view.
Yeah.
If you're courteous to them, they're courteous to you.
Which is kind of a rule of thumb for most parts of life, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know, and it doesn't mean you're always going to get someone who's nice to you. There's always going to be some
Yeah, there is.
asshole
There is.
who just doesn't care how nice you are to him or her.
Yeah.
They're going to be nasty
Just
to you.
realised I haven't shaved today.
It's all right. That's all right. They're just looking at your eyes, Tim.
Razor blades are very expensive here.
Are they not in other countries? I don't know.
They are actually, yeah, but I mean,
Because they
but-
don't want people to kill themselves.
well, they're
Good
safety
point.
razors. They're safety razors. I don't think you can cut your wrists with a.
With aloe vera. You probably can, actually.
I think you probably could, yeah.
Yeah,
You couldn't
yeah.
really do a damage, though, I don't think.
Uh,
But, yeah, but I found that in Mercadona, they've got their own brand of razor, and the razor blades are €5.60 for a refill,
okay.
whereas the Fusion, Gillette and all that are $16.95 or something like that. So I'm thinking I'll grow a beard.
Ian is asking, does consumerism promote greed? A must-have culture in a throwaway society.
Wow.
Good point, Ian.
Good point. That's I can answer that, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
No?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, last week we were talking about slow living and how slow is slow life really, right? So
Yeah.
we were also mentioning sustainability and I mean consumerism and greed. They probably, yes, they do belong together, and to slow down this whole production, consumption way of living and fast living, as we were saying, to slow that down a little bit is maybe a good way to start to maybe see what we can reuse or what we can reduce or recycle or even repair, because I mean sometimes I feel that it costs even more to repair things than throwing them away and buying new.
Especially relationships.
So that in itself is already not very productive and very sustainable.
Didn't I? I mean, I completely. This is back in my mind, article time, but. There are one or two electrical companies, I think, who are now, maybe in Sweden, maybe in Germany, building into the sales contract of something like a washing machine, a kind of contract to repair and to provide parts, so that you don't throw it away and rebuy after 5 years. That the repairing is, and they're training their people to repair electrical goods again, rather
So
than
this is basically going back, but in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, in the olden days, if you think about it, I mean, I'm sure my mother had the same, or my father had the same Hoover or vacuum cleaner for 20 years, until it broke down, and it didn't break down after 3 years. Once the month after the guarantee ran out,
Exactly.
you know, it just kept going. You bought something for like car as well. I mean, I think I was the first person in my family to buy a new car, because everyone, you bought a second-hand car and you drove it until, in fact, I remember my parents' car, the gear stick was being held together with an old night dress of my mother's, but it worked, you know, before ITVs came in, or MOTs. It worked more or less, but you could see the road through the floor of the car, but it worked.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like the Flintstones.
The O Flintstones.
Well done. Right, I got to see what you guys are saying. People demand faster, not slower. Yep. A shame that kids can become most obsessed with logos and brands under the influence of TV, sports and sponsorship. Adults too. Darren Fenian says, hi Tim, over 3 weeks, what are the rules for flying my DJI-2 early morning cine shot across the beach? There are no particular rules for the under 250 gram, but I'm assuming you live in Europe. You should have a European operator's license, and if you don't have one, then you need to get one before you come. So you get your operator's license, that's all you need, and you need to have read the manual. The rules basically the same as the rest of Europe. You can fly anywhere not exceeding 120 meters height. You can fly over buildings and people not involved in your mission, but you can't specifically film them. So if you're going from one place to another and you fly over people, that's fine, but you're not allowed to fly around and photograph the people as as the subject of the video. You're not allowed to fly over crowds. That means people who can't get out of the way if it falls down. So like football, concerts, stuff like that. Okay. So if you're on a beach and it's fairly sparse, you can fly over the beach. If it's a really crowded beach where they're shoulder to shoulder and, you know, then don't fly over those. But it's, there are no real drone police, just it's common sense and be careful. Make sure you know what you're doing.
But they might stop and ask you. I mean,
they will stop and ask you if for your license number.
They've done it.
And your license number has to be printed on the drone as well. So if you have a blank drone, then that's also illegal.
I don't think you can fly near airports either. Am I right?
Let me just close this. You've gone into slow mode there.
Okay.
You're okay. We're still doing. Sorry, what was that?
Airports? Do you have to avoid airports?
Oh, you got to avoid
and
airports, but yeah,
please?
the GPS should tell you then. The software that you use should tell you if you're near an airport. In fact, I went and filmed Mercadona, and it warned me that I was near the heliport.
Okay.
So,
fair enough. That's
it's not illegal to fly by the heliport. It just says be careful. But it is illegal to fly by the municipal airports.
Yeah, it would be.
And on the approach and the takeoff corridors, there's just a height limit, 120 meters. But 120 meters is the whole of the island anyway, so there's no really change that. So yeah, if you bring a drone, just make sure you've got an operator's license, it's printed on the drone, and you've got your liability insurance parat in case. So those are the things that you should worry about. Obviously, if you've not got that where you are, then you need to get that before you come. And usually it's free. I know the European operator number's free. You just got to prove who you are and tell them you got a drone less than whatever. Agree, Cleo? Growing up, think we had the same Hoover and iron for years. Well, I've had the same iron for the last 20 years.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I don't use it.
Yeah, but that's going to say we noticed.
Still trying to unscramble the discussion, says Jenny. Good point, Ian. Agreed. Just had a convo with my landlord renewing the lease. 1, 3 or 6 month. No 12 or 2 month because they can double for Christmas. Yeah, I'm in a residential building. Yeah, I think landlords, nothing against landlords per se, but I think the idea of landlords should go away. I think...
I'm a landlord.
Yeah, but you should go away.
Where should I go?
No, you don't go away. The
concept of it.
The concept of a landlord was somebody owned the land and they rented it to the serf, right?
Yeah, okay, it is. It does have nasty connotations.
Not only nasty connotations, but also in this day and age, a lot of people are using speculation to increase the prices of housing, whereas housing should be a right, a human right.
I mean, there's a huge discussion going on in Ireland about this at the moment, and you know, rent control is now pretty tight. I mean, I can't just up my rent. The rent, I own one property in Ireland that I was going to live in, but I came here instead. So I'm kind of an accidental landlord, and I think there are a lot of accidental landlords around. And I abide by the rules. I've just paid my tax and everything. And there's a lot of discussion about homelessness and the right to housing. And I would love to see proper government policies about which sees social housing being built all over the place. You don't have to have it in a particular area, which then becomes a ghetto. But I think it's something that needs to be really well thought out from the beginning.
Well,
and not just
you do it the other way round. If you stop speculation, right, and make it that investing in a house is not profitable.
Yeah. Right.
So if you've got lots of money, and you don't know what to do, go and invest in something else. Right. It's the whole capitalist society. Sure. Anything that's sparse is more expensive. Right.
Yeah.
So nice houses looking out to sea in Adeje, this side of the motorway,
Yeah,
are
I mean,
more.
we live in one of the most expensive
Exactly.
boroughs in Spain.
And the only reason it's expensive is because there's more people want to live here.
Yeah.
Because so things are scarce.
Yeah.
So if you actually, I'm talking world governments now.
Yeah, no, I am.
If you make the owning of a house that is not your residence so expensive that it makes no sense to have a second house or a third one or a fourth one
Yeah.
or a portfolio, you know.
Yeah.
And we're going to flip the house, you know, because the people in the house are probably paying your mortgage for you.
Yeah.
And then you get the house afterwards. So basically, if somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey, look, can you do me a favour? Can you pay my mortgage for the next 10 years and then I'll throw you out your house?" You say, "Don't be stupid." But that's what landlords do. That's what happens.
But yeah, I mean, I know. So, like I said, I fell into it. So the people who live in my house, they've been there for 15 years. They paid the mortgage. They've also lived there, and I have looked after the house.
No. What I'm saying is that
And I can't just throw them out. I don't have the right.
you could sell it.
Again, I would have to give them 9 months' notice. So
No, but I mean, you could sell it to them,
I could sell it to them.
and they would just carry on paying the mortgage.
Yeah, if they wanted to buy it, and if they didn't want to buy it, I could sell it to somebody else.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is that owning any house. So in fact, okay, I'm not.
See, I also think, I'm going to interrupt here. I also think there's a couple of things. The whole issue of ownership is also perhaps something that
Right.
needs to be looked at again.
Right.
You know, Ireland apparently has one of the highest levels of home ownership rather than renting. So we don't have a history of rental accommodation being permanent.
Mm-hmm.
You rent before you buy. That's what you did when you grew up in Ireland. You rented until you could afford to
Can
get
you
a
still do that
mortgage.
in Ireland?
No, probably not.
No.
Not in Dublin.
No.
But if government were to provide proper housing that wasn't deemed to be inferior because it was social housing, and rental became the norm, so that people could rent, but they could expect good quality accommodation that they could rent, and they didn't have to worry about mortgages or having an overhead of £200,000 they were going to have to pay until they were 65, so they couldn't afford to take out a loan to go on holiday or put their kid through college. I think you need to change the whole mindset. You need to move away from ownership and just think about housing as a right.
So
but you don't
basically,
have to own it.
everybody rents.
Maybe, or
Yeah.
that there is as much of that there isn't a stigma about renting.
Well, there
because
isn't
the
a stigma in
quality-
Germany.
Exactly, and there isn't a stigma in New York.
No.
And there isn't a stigma. I mean, I think maybe it's Ireland and England do have this property obsession almost.
Yeah, because I think what happened was
paradigm.
when I was in America, the typical flow was you bought your first house, you maxed out all your credit cards to live in that house with the new car. Then when you sold the house because you got equity because the price went up,
Yeah.
right? And the price only went up because the neighborhood got better, because people were buying. And then you were buying a bigger house, putting a deposit down, closing costs. You said, well, you give me these closing costs and I'll buy a new car with it. So the whole
You were playing the
American
market.
dream was to do with the market
Yeah.
until, of course, 2008.
Yeah.
And then it all fell apart. But that was the idea. And then when you got to your retirement age and the kids had left, you sold your big house in, New Jersey and moved
or
to Florida.
Nantucket or something.
Right, yeah, and moved to Florida, And
But you rented. I mean, I've got friends who live in New York
Mm-hmm.
and others who live in San Francisco, and very few of them own their property.
Yeah.
But they don't care.
no.
It's not an issue. It's not something that they're aspiring to. Because
Well, if everybody rented, then nobody would rent two houses, would they?
no.
So therefore, there'd be lots of housing
Yeah.
stock, and people then could just move to a better class of house at the same price and let
But
the homeless people come into a different class.
But maybe there shouldn't even be the need for poorer classes. This is what I was thinking earlier.
Or a smaller
That
footprints.
the whole issue of housing ghettos should be abolished, so that
Yeah, but don't forget,
governments-
ghettos are built.
Okay, well, I'm talking, say, rack rent landlords that we heard about back in the day, in the early 20th century,
Yeah.
when you had 5 families living in one floor of an old Victorian house, say.
Oh, okay.
But if proper apartment blocks were being built, and they were good to begin with, that the quality of the construction material was good, that a family of 5 was getting a 3-bedroomed apartment.
Yeah.
And again, also you move away from this need to own a house to good apartment blocks.
Yeah.
Like but we all live in it. Well, I live in an apartment.
I live in an apartment.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, that's my home. It has been for over 20 years here, and I don't think it's substandard because it's not a house. I don't expect to ever live in a house. That's where I live for my life.
Graham's saying it's not fair. It's not exactly fair. The only way I can afford to move to Tenerife was to buy a property and rent that out to make an income, pay the taxes in UK and Tenerife. It's smart economics. So yeah, I mean, basically, you're using the system. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're using the existing system. What I'm
Exactly.
saying is that the system is wrong when it comes to housing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and obviously, if you rent a tourist accommodation, what's this done? You're still on, I think.
Yes, we are.
You're still on. But the battery's nearly dead, apparently, on yours. In fact, we're nearly done. We're 45 minutes in anyway, so. Yeah, so basically all I was saying is that there needs to be, to get to the Star Trek culture that I want, right, is you need to rethink everything, and it's a slow process.
Are we
It's a
doing the
slow
Borg
process.
collective here?
No, it's not the
I
Borg.
don't
It's-
think so.
Star Trek is the equality of people, and the reason that came about is when they synthesized food. So therefore, it cost them basically nothing to synthesize
eat.
your basic needs.
Yeah.
Everybody had a uniform. I mean, obviously, it's sort of like communism, uniforms and all that. But everybody had clothes.
Oh well, only if you've only got a uniform if you work.
you
in-
work
if
in,
you work
yeah.
for the Federation.
That's true.
So I mean, a lot
That's
of people
true.
don't work for the Federation.
Really?
The Bajorans, a lot of the Bajorans don't work for the Federation. Only
Bajorans
Major
don't
Kira
watch.
does.
There you go.
The Kardashians are another question, but
Okay, I know that's Kim Kardashian, isn't it?
yeah,
Okay.
and all of her planet.
Okay, so before oh my God, there's been loads of people. Nobody ever comments on balcony banter apart from amongst themselves, and they're all engaging now. Nobody's read any of it.
Oh, go.
Can you fly over a nudie beach? Says Rob. Yes, you can. Pete and Shell, a lot of rogue landlords. Yeah, exactly. Secret to wealth is buy something, get someone else to pay for it. Exactly. Which is basically a landlord. We rented once in Southport. Bathroom windows wouldn't shut. Asked if they could repair it. He wouldn't. Winter was awful. Only 3 months there. August Welling, you need to get a set of ND filters for your drone. Already got them. I got the DJI ones. I got a ND16, an ND64, and an ND256. I got the 64 on it now, so I can take 4K 30 frames a second at 1/60 of the second ISO 100, and it looks like this. I'm going to show it. I'm just going to show this before it all goes to pot. So we are now muted. And we're back in the room, so I hope you like that one. That's with the nice. That's with the ND filter 64. I could put the 256 on, but that would give me trails at night. But you cannot fly at night.
Oh, that's another one.
That's another one you can't do. Not here anyway. Well, I know that some people have flown at night and nobody's died, but there is a rule to say you cannot fly at night. Right, Cleo, you got some Adeje Fiestas for us.
We're in the middle of the fiestas here. So these are called the patronal fiestas. Anyone who knows Tenerife and Spain will know that the combination of religion and culture and tourism is pretty well organised at this stage. So it's quite there's a few big events still coming up. So we've been in fiesta mode from the 1st of October. And on Saturday there's a folklore festival. So in the Calle Grande there's a really good group called Mesturao. So it's Canarian folk music, free concert in the Calle Grande.
Calle Grande is the one going up towards the chicken place, Main Street.
Goes up towards the town hall,
the town hall,
Plaza
right.
de España.
Yeah.
And then, big news. If anybody, so the Fashion Beach Costa Adeje is on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of October. And this has now become quite a kind of spot. This has become a reference point for fashion in the north of Europe.
Is that in La Branda again?
It's in the Bahía del Duque Norte beach.
Okay.
The new one.
Yeah, the new one. And they
It used to be El Beril.
It's just beside El Beril, yeah. So they build a catwalk right down into the beach, and they've the sunset coming down, and it's an outdoor fashion show. And anybody who knows anything about Spanish fashion, Agatha Ruiz de la Prada is here.
Okay.
She's going to be here, and she's probably one of Spain's best known designers. So she's showing her swimwear collection, and she's the guest of honor, and that will be on Saturday night, I think.
So that's in between the La Caleta beach and the castle, for those of you.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's,
So just to give you an idea of where it is, it's the beach in the middle between this side of La
Exactly.
Caleta and the other side of the castle.
But I mean, you would need, if you look up Fashion Beach Costa Adeje, go online, because it's not something you can just pop along to.
Oh, you got to get a ticket.
Oh yeah,
Right.
and they're hen's teeth.
Because the devil wears Prada.
The devil does wear Prada, and Agatha Ruiz de la. And then the big one that people love to go to is a thing called the Romeria. And Romeria would be probably translated vaguely like a pilgrimage. But this happens again along the Calle Grande on Sunday, and it starts at about 1 o'clock. And you have wooden carts, and they're put by oxen up the Calle Grande. Everyone's dressed in traditional Canarian garb, but you can go along and have a look. And the people who are in the carts will hand out free food and drink
Yes.
as they go up the main street. So little glasses of wine, you might get hard-boiled eggs, you might get some goat stew or some goffio, and that all happens. That starts from about midday. There's a show, there's like a farm fair of all the oxen, and these are magnificent beasts. They're beautiful. I love looking at them. I'm not a big meat eater, so I don't mind looking at these gorgeous oxen. And then they bring the carts up the main street, up to the church, where they make an offering to the Virgen.
Is it like a whole ox then, an offering?
Yeah, a whole oxen. No, but I mean, a lot of that food then goes to families in need in the village. And that is the Romeria, and that finishes the fiestas. And then there'll be a party in the Plaza de España with local bands like Guamampe and Sensación Gomera.
But you don't need tickets for that. You just go up
It's
there.
all free. That's all free.
Okay.
The only thing you would need tickets for is the Costa Adeje Fashion Beach.
Fashion Beach.
Fashion Beach Costa Adeje.
And do they need any models? Because I'm free on Saturday.
I think they just filled the last slot last week.
Okay.
Yeah, and they
Next year then.
They needed people who were really closely shaved. They said.
Really?
So, yeah. So
And can fit into lederhosen and stuff like that.
we're still waiting.
We're still
for that.
waiting. Ray Duffy, thank you so much for your generosity there. Ray Duffy has said keep it up and sent us £5.
Woohoo!
And
can
ND
consume
filters
it.
aren't for nighttime, says Neil Lewis. Yes, they are. If you want a really, really long exposure, then you need an ND filter for nighttime. So maybe even 1,000 or 2,000 if you want those long trails of the cars. So they are for that. Oh, Tinder Hot Date, best adult dating site. There you go. And they've said it 4 times just in case we didn't read it the first time.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite good.
Make sure we're consuming.
I'm going to hide that user. No need to do anything, moderators. I've already done it. Oh, it's already done by Anne-Marie. There you go. There you go. It's the same guy anyway. Tinder hot. Is Tinder the one where it's the same sex?
No, that's Grinder.
Grinder. Okay.
Apparently.
Apparently. Cool dude, Tim. No. Okay. We are. People saying good shots. Thank you very much. Why are you so confident with the drone? Yeah, I got used to it. I got used to it just about. But
Practice.
I think what I need to do is plan my shots more. So I think I'm going to have like a reveal, and then a slide, and then a circle, and then like a rocket, then a top down, and then a in and up. I've been watching like TV and films to see what they do, and so that the one I just did in El Petito, that was good. I've just done one for Kaya Savaki as well, which I'm going to show on Friday.
In fact, on the Ayuntamiento de Adeje, on our own YouTube site, one of our guys does a lot of drone. I mean, he has filmed and edited footage from every single little neighbourhood throughout Costa Adeje and the mountains areas as well.
Adeje.es.
That's our main webpage, yeah.
Yeah, and how can he get to the drone footage from there?
If you go to YouTube,
Oh,
and
YouTube.
put in Ayuntamiento de
Ayuntamiento Adeje.
or just put in Adeje and you scroll and you should get to it.
Okay, I'll try see if I can find it, and I'll put a link in the description and up wherever it's going to be.
There's some really nice. Domingo is his name, Domingo, and he's done some really good drone stuff.
Okay.
He's got his license too.
He's got his license too.
Yeah.
Actually, if you do use it for commercial, you have to do a pilot's license at the same
He's got
thing,
his commercial
an
pilot license.
STS.
Yeah.
But that's usually pretty good. It's online, and yeah, you're pretty good. We're out.
Ta-ta.
Yeah, Cleo's battery just died.
But I'm still alive.
You're still alive. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this round.
And I
number
talked
one.
too much today.
No, it's good.
Oh, it
People
came
love
off.
it.
I broke it. So this is Cleo on her own because her things died. So what is your plans for next week?
Apart from coming here, well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing next week. I have a birthday coming up too, so I'll be celebrating that soon.
Cool dude, 21 again?
Yeah, just about. Squeezing it in.
Squeezing it in.
I've no idea. The fiestas will be over, so I'll probably be taking it a bit easy.
Do you have to do something with work with the fiestas?
Yeah.
You're reporting on it and stuff?
I've been working on the production because we have all the local TV and radio stations. They come down to do 2 and 3 hour programs, so I've been doing their production. So
Okay.
I've been pretty busy.
So she's a producer as well. There you go. Juliani,
Yeah.
what's your plans?
Well, first of all, tonight I'm going to celebrate a birthday as well, my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday it is.
Yay! Alles Gute, Mama.
Happy birthday.
Yes, and yeah, and then taking it easy and being here next week with you.
Cool dudes. You're going to eat next week?
Probably so.
Oh, what we're going to have? Let's have some meat. What about meat, Chris? Meat. Meat. No, she's not into meat. I'm fed up of feeding you beans.
We're going to have oxen stew once the Romery is over.
Oxen tour. There you go.
Those beans yesterday, they were the best.
Ah,
I get them again.
you're going to get them again tonight in a wrap. Bean wrap. Outside a takeaway Saturday night, a bald adolescent had me out for a fight. He was no bigger than a 2-bob fart and a disc spun of the martial art. Anyway, John Cooper Clarke still lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you the sunset, and then we're going to finish. There's the sun. There's the flowers. Here's everybody.